Okay, so this is part three or part four of this series, and the last one ended inappropriately. I apologize about that. So we have already installed SQL on our node one. This is our node two. So we'll just continue from where we stopped in the last video. And if this is the first time here, you want to watch the um, previous videos before you jump on this. Of course, installation, give you a deviation, know how to do this. All right, so just gonna move on and accept license and hit next. Go next. I'm fine with that. Again, I'm gonna select exact same features like I selected in the other video. Go to installation. So I'll scroll down. Data quality is fine. Data quality client tool connectivity. Just want it to be the same. I don't need no backward compatibility. SQL clients. Yep, I think that's fine. That's all I need. All right, go next. Again, just like the other node, I'm gonna make this a name instance, even though the default instance, I will call it SQL AG2. Go next. All right, so the same thing, I wanted to use the same service account, just like we used on node one. Well, look for, I have a service account called service account. Just look for it right there. You provide the password. The same thing here. Service account, check name, okay. Provide a password. All right, let's go next. I didn't talk about collection sequences. I'm gonna leave my collection sequences. I'll leave it at the default, that's fine. Go next. All right, so right here, I'm going to add a current user. And I think in the previous video, when I was installing the node one, I added cluster admin, I believe so. Cluster admins, check name, add another one. I think it was service account. Check, add it. Any other one? Yeah, that's it. I like to make this mix more authentication. All right, let's select our data directories. I'm gonna leave my root directory here on C drive, but for the user database directory, I like to change it. So I will navigate to my data, SQL data, create a new folder. Let's call this SQL data. Hit OK. I do the same for the log. Create a new folder. Let's call it log. Did I call it SQL log? I think it was just log. Yep. So OK. Then same thing for the backup. Select backup. Create a new folder and call it backup. Hit OK. Let's move to the TempDB tab. So we'll do the same thing here and remove what was there as defaults, just like we did on node one. So we'll select TempDB, create a new folder and call it TempDB. You know, Okay. I like to, at the minimum, you should have at least 4 cores. So I'm just gonna make this 4 data files. Max build, I already explained to you, we're not doing that, but let's skip to memory. I want to select the recommended value. So I will say, yes, I'm accepting that I want Microsoft to use the recommended values for me. That's fine. I don't want to enable file stream. So I will just go ahead and hit next. So this is the summary of everything. We'll go ahead and hit install. All right, so while this is installing, let's flip back to our node 1 and see what's going on there. Node 1, sweet, everything looks good. The installation is completed successfully. So let's hit close. We're actually going to be needing, Management Studio. So we need to install Management Studio. So I will download Management Studio and we'll install it real quick. Okay, all right. Let's go back to Node 2 and see what is going on. All right, it's still installing. I will pause the video and we'll be right back. Okay, so the installation completed successfully. Let's check it out. Everything looks good. So we can close this guy out and we can close this guy out. All right, we don't need it anymore. Okay, so close this guy out too. All right, so now we need to just enable the always on feature on configuration manager. Right here, SQL Server 2019 configuration manager. You need to enable the feature okay. So you right click on the service, on the SQL Server service, and you go to where it says always on availability group, click on it, and then enable this. Click on the enable always on availability groups and select apply. Saying that any changes made will be saved. However, they will not take effect until the service is stopped and restarted. So, okay. Okay. So let's do that. Gonna right click and say restart. I would do the same on node 2. Remember, you have to enable it on the 2 nodes or all the nodes that will be part of the AG. Right here. You right click on it, you go to properties, always on, enable it, apply. Yes, I'm okay with that. Okay, and come here and restart. Go back to 1. Okay, looks good. I'm not starting the agent yet. I'm not interested for now. Let's go back to node 2. All right, everything looks good. Okay, all right, now before we can move forward, we need to install Management Studio so we can configure our availability group. I'm actually downloading it. So while that is in progress, let's quickly check our cluster one more time and make sure that everything looks good. So now we have installed SQL Server, but it's still not showing up here until we have configure I was on. Okay, so we'll check the nodes. Everything still looks good. We don't have nothing in the storage. Okay, the cluster network is up. Everything looks good. Okay, so I'm just gonna pause the video and make sure that our management studio is installed, and then we will resume. Be right back. Okay, so I already have management studio file here. So I'm gonna install it on my on that one. Let's go to that one right here, management studio right here. Let's quickly install it. Install. Shouldn't take long. Okay, all right. Looks like it's completed. That one. This part is really not a big deal, installing Management Studio. So it's important because we need to configure the AG to complete this series, because we promised to set up from cluster configuration, or from virtual machine configuration, the clustering, preparing the nodes, the domain controller, and of course all the nodes that will be involved in the AG. So it's important for us to have the management studio. Let's check the other node. The two is completed. All right, sweet. All right, so let's go back to node one. Go SSMS. There you go. I like to pin it to the text bar. All right, so we've already enabled always on feature on both nodes. So what I want to do, I just want to restore an AdventureWorks database, so we can have a database that at least that we can add to the AG. All right, let's wait for that while it's loading. All right, there we go. So I can just connect to AG node 1, SQL AG1 is the instance name. Sweet, looks good. All right, I want to do the same on node 2, just to make sure that we can access our management studio. All right, while this is loading, let's flip back to node 1. Oh, still node 2. My bad. Since node 1 is already open. Okay, all right, so let's just restore AdventureWorks database. Because this is a brand new instance, I don't have anything in it, so it's important for us to use for our demo. Restore database on device. I want to navigate to my media file. I have my AdventureWorks database here. The file doesn't look good. Let's go fix that. So we can just create a new database. It doesn't matter. Just for the sample, you can just call this demo and leave everything default. So just don't do this at work. All right, so I just created a database called demo. I can, yeah, one is fine, just for the purpose of this demo. Okay. All right. So I like to take a backup of this database. Um, backup, full backup is fine. Um, I like to put it in a shared location. Demo backup, BAK. All right. I'm gonna leave everything to be on the defaults. Backup completed successfully. All right, now let's go ahead and open a new, create a new availability group. All right, to your right click, we're gonna use new availability group wizard. This should be a smooth process. I'll call this the availability group name. Let's call it AG, AG, AG group one. Just call it AG group. Okay, all right. Cluster type, we have Windows Server Failover cluster. So that's what we want to use. I'm not going to select this option that says database level health detection. Is optional, but you can select that if you want. So this is a database that I want to add to the AG. So I selected, that's the only database that I have. So that's fine. Go ahead and hit next. At this point, let me do automatic failover. So this automatically changes the availability mode to synchronous commit. I want readable secondary. So I'll say yes, readable secondary. I want to add my secondary replica. So this is still connected to node 1. I want it to connect to node 2. So I will change the 1 to 2 and connect to it. Hopefully it's connected. If not, we need to go make sure that we can access that server. Okay, not supposed to take that long. So let's quickly flip back to node 2 and see what is going on there and make sure that we can actually connect to. Okay, it's connected here on the 2. Let's flip back to the 1 and see why we could not connect. Let's try one more time. Oh, actually, we need to change the AG node 1 to AG node 2. All right, so let's connect. Yep, that looks good. Okay, all right, so I can select, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. Let's have them both automatic failover. Readable secondary, we already mapped that. Map that to yes. Okay, let's hit next. I want to take a full database and log backup and restore it to my secondary, just the option that I choose. So it's just one empty database, so it should be pretty fast. Looks like we missed something. Let's go back. Let's do this one more time. Uh, let's do this one more time. This is AG1. Right click, new AG. Call this AG, AG group, what we called it. Okay. Connect to this one, looks good. I'll leave everything on automatic. Uh, I'll say yes for that. Not required. I'm going to do this again. So here I'm supposed to provide the actual location where I want, um, where I have my backup files and I want it to be stored. So that's what we missed. That's why I had to repeat this process again. Okay, so I actually have my backup on my share. So I'll put it right there. And I will go next on that. See how fast it is. Okay, all right, so it looks good here. So let's move next. We're gonna configure the listener later. So let's go ahead and complete this. All right, that looks good. Completed successfully. Let's come here. All right. I don't need this guy. I'm gonna have to delete them. Okay. So let me refresh this guy. As you can see, it says synchronized. And let's check our AG and make sure that it looks good. So we have our AG here. Let's check the dashboard. Show dashboard. So everything looks good. All right. So we've come to the end of this series. And just a recap of what we have done. This is basically for anybody that wants to set up a private lab and then you don't know how to set up a virtualization or a virtual machine or create a cluster to be able to set up always on. So you make sure that you watch all the videos that we've done up to this point, because we created a virtual machine using Hyper-V. We install the VM, we configure domain controller, and of course the nodes that will be part of the AG. We prepare them, we work through all the steps. Everything looks good. As you can see, we install SQL Server, and of course here this is a dashboard, the finished product of what we have done. I really hope this helps. And then if you have any questions, any concern, any comment, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you like this content, if it helped you in any way, please go ahead and subscribe and click on the bell icon so you can get our videos in the future. All right, thank you. I really hope this helps.